Hey folks, David Tao with BarBend.com, and today we're talking about the 2021 CrossFit Open. Basically, predictions for the Open. What should we expect from the workouts to top names? But before we do that, make sure you Google BarBend plus CrossFit Games to stay up to date on everything from this year's season. So we've got 4 big predictions for this year's CrossFit Open. Now, remember, it is a different qualification system than in years past. We have quarterfinals and semifinals, a last chance qualifier, and the games. That's all after the Open this year. So for more on that, we'll link in the description below a description of the new qualification process for games athletes. That's for individual and team and age groups. And you can also Google BarBend plus CrossFit Games qualifiers to find more info on that. All right, the first of our 4 predictions for this year's CrossFit Games Open. Multi-part workouts. There are only 3 weeks in this year's CrossFit Games Open. That's down from the normal 5. So 3 workouts doesn't seem like a lot. Week 3 in the CrossFit Open is normally when the leaderboard just starts to take shape and really kind of gets solidified in weeks 5 and 4. But this year, I think we might expect more than one multi-part workout. Dave Castro has done this in the past, having, for example, a part 1A and 1B. It could be a heavy lift followed by a piece of metabolic conditioning or a Metcon. Could be the other way around. We might even have a 3-part workout this year. Those 3 parts all counting for different scores or potentially different point totals. So expect at least one multi-part workout in this year's 3-week CrossFit Open, potentially more than one. Prediction number 2, youth. Expect a lot of young names at the top of the leaderboard, a lot of former or current CrossFit teens actually vying for top spots on the leaderboard. Now, it's worth noting the age group season ended prematurely in 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. They were not contested, the teens and masters age groups were not contested at the CrossFit Games. And a lot of those athletes are ready and raring to go. They've had more time than ever, a longer off season than ever to make improvements. And as we know, teenagers and young CrossFit athletes, well, they can put on the gains faster than the rest of us. We saw a glimpse of youth last year at the CrossFit Games finals, notably Haley Adams at just 19, Justin Medeiros at 21, both finishing in the top 5 for their respective divisions. And so I think this year we might see a greater influx of young athletes, we're talking teens or early 20s, at the top of the leaderboard than we've ever seen before. Part of that because they had a longer offseason coming off last year, and part of that because the talent pool is broader than ever and there are more exceptional young athletes than ever before. There are more divisions and options than ever for this year's CrossFit Open. We have RX'd, we have scaled, we have foundations, but maybe more importantly, as far as what's new, we have equipment free. Now, you won't be able to compete equipment free and make it to the next round of qualification. However, it is a new option that CrossFit has introduced this year to broaden the appeal of the Open for folks who might be fit, might have CrossFit experience, but their gyms might still be closed due to a COVID-19 restriction, or they're just not comfortable returning yet, or they've moved, whatever it is. These are equipment free options for the Open this year, and you can actually complete the entire Open equipment free. Sounds easy, right? Well, one thing that CrossFit's made very clear is that this is going to be on par as far as difficulty with RX, meaning Dave Castro and team are going to punish us with bodyweight movement, burpees, squats, you name it. We might even see some variation on mountain climbers. I'm not sure, we've never seen an equipment-free full Open before, but my prediction is that the equipment-free Open workouts are going to be absolutely brutal, as challenging, if not more challenging metabolically than the RX division. Our final prediction for this year's CrossFit Open, expect a lot of new names at the top of the leaderboard, but maybe more importantly, don't expect some familiar names at the top of the leaderboard. There have been a few retirements this year, of course. Matt Fraser and Jacob Heppner come to mind immediately, but also it's a new qualification system. Individual athletes only need to finish in the top 10% after the Open in their respective division to reach the next stage of qualification, the quarterfinals. Team athletes, just the top 25%. So there's less pressure on a lot of these top athletes, a lot of these games veterans, to vie for one of those top 20 worldwide Open spots or the title of national champion, finishing first out of the Open in their home nation. with less pressure to make it from the Open to the next stage of qualification, or less pressure to make it from the Open directly to Games qualification, because you can't do that this year. Expect a lot of athletes, a lot of top athletes, a lot of Games veterans to train through the Open somewhat normally, maybe not go all out, and maybe not try and absolutely push themselves to the max on these Open workouts. Again, they just need to finish in the top 10%. So there's a very, very good chance that a lot of these names we're used to seeing at the top of the leaderboard, a top 20 position, they might be a little further back in the pack this year, waiting to make their move at quarterfinals and semifinals. So there you have it, 4 predictions for this year's CrossFit Open, a shorter Open this year, just 3 weeks. But I want to know, what did we miss? What predictions do you think I was off on? What predictions do you have that we should give some love to in the comments? Let us know in the comments below. Until then, I'm David Tao, and thanks for tuning in.